Welcome back. Got a Blu-ray update for you guys. It's been a while, and but as you know, I like to watch the films and the special features and all that business before I actually talk about it. So it takes a while for me. And there's a number of box sets here that I've gone through, finally finished up. So let's get started. First up is a kind of a box set that I was hesitant to purchase, but I'm glad I did, and that's Solid Metal Nightmares. This is the Tsukamoto box set of films. The Tetsuo, obviously, it's got Tetsuo Iron Man in it. That's his most recognized film with horror fans. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I've seen it multiple times. It's a David Cronenberg type body horror deal. It's just bizarre. I mean, I've gotten more enamored of it as I've seen it. It's starting to grow on me, and I don't dislike them. I mean, I give them 6 out of 10. Tetsuo and Tetsuo Iron Man 1 and 2, they're good, and I've got a greater appreciation of them after having got this box set and gone through the special features. It's amazing kind of the creative artistry that this guy has put into these films. So the bottom line for me, I love Tokyo Fist. It's my favorite of the box set. It's a great boxing horror love triangle movie. It's just fascinating. Each scene is just a pleasure to look at. Interesting story. Love Tokyo Fist. That's my favorite of the set. I also like Kotoko, which is basically a woman that has mental illness. She's got a child, and she's just sick, mentally sick, and it just goes through her gradual breakdown. Snake of June is interesting as well, almost like a well, it's not porn, but it's about a very it's another love triangle film, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, Tokyo Fist is the bomb as far as this set, as far as I'm concerned. Of course, you get a booklet as well. So yeah, overall, I'd say another great knock it out of the park set from Arrow, and I would recommend picking it up. Great special features. Every film has an audio commentary, but I'll be honest with you, now that I've mentioned the audio commentaries, the guy that does these, what is this guy's name? I think it's May. Let me see. I should know. I've listened to every fucking one of his commentaries. Tom Mees, I think. I appreciate his knowledge of these, and he's obviously a expert. But fuck, he's boring. He's just not interesting to listen to. His commentaries are a fucking chore, and he's on others. I went through it just because I'm a completionist as far as watching this shit. But it's not. Tom Mees probably just needs to do something else. All right, next up is Maniac Cop. So I've got Maniac Cop 2 and 3. Why didn't I buy the Blu-ray? Why didn't I buy the 4K? First of all, I don't know that I need Maniac Cop 2 and 3 on 4K. It's just a personal thing. Some stuff I've got in 4K, but I'll be honest with you, I like some of the 4K, but I don't think it's so great compared to Blu-ray that I've just got to upgrade everything. And honestly, I'm going to kind of price it. I mean, I got these because the 4K has come out. I got these for like $13 a piece, and I'm happy as a clam, quite content. I didn't have them. I had the original Maniac Cop, but I was missing these two because they were really expensive. But one good benefit I think of the 4Ks coming out is that a lot of stuff that was difficult to get or expensive that I missed out on, I can pick up now. But, as far as Maniac Cop, the series, 2 is my favorite. 2 has a lot more production values, a lot more gory scenes, a lot of spectacular stunts, and I think 3 is probably the weakest of the series. Honestly, I'm not sure they knew what they wanted to do. I think they were just, and well, Bill Lustig says in his commentaries on 3 that he just phoned it in. Apparently, the issue was the script or the lack of a script, depending on who you believe, producer or the writer Larry Cohen. I love Larry Cohen and Bill Lustig, as I'm sure everybody on this that's watching this does as well. But this is kind of a turkey. But 2 is fantastic. So yeah, pick those up. Next up, here's another one that I said, well, do I go for the 4K or just pay, $13 for the Blu-ray? And I went the Blu-ray route with Final Countdown. Looks fantastic. I'm happy with it. I'm quite content. I don't have to have the 4K. This is a silly movie. Basically, Kirk Douglas is this Nimitz battleship commander, and they go through a time tunnel or time warp out in the ocean, and it takes them back to just before the Pearl Harbor attack. And so they got this dilemma: do they stop the Pearl Harbor attack or do they let it happen? Great cast. Martin Sheen's in it. Yeah, it's got a great cast of characters, but it's really kind of a silly movie, to be honest with you. It's okay. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Here's a film that I don't know why people shit on this. I'd never seen it, and I was hesitant to watch it because everyone says it's one of his worst movies, and that's The Card Player. Dario Argento. I liked it. Is it great? No. Is it dated in terms of the technology? Yeah. But I still think it's a damn good movie. And it's well acted. I thought the lead, the female lead in this, police officer, was great. Basically, the storyline is this guy likes to kidnap and torture and kill women. And then he starts out on this game of playing poker with the cops for the lives of these people, these women that he captures. I thought it was a lot of fun. Now, obviously, the technology as far as the poker was ridiculously bad, but it's dated. I mean, if you're going to judge a movie based on the fact that it's dated in terms of the technology, I mean, there's probably not going to be any movies that you really like. I mean, if that's your priority, that the poker technology in the film looks like shit because it's 2022 and this is 2000 something, and I don't know what to tell you. I mean, that's just, but I thought it was well acted. The pacing was good. The kills, it's not about the kills. This is a different avenue Argento's going down. This isn't kill set pieces like Deep Red or Suspiria. This is just a good detective story. I mean, it's much more of a giallo type detective story than it is horror or anything like that. I liked it. I give it a 7 out of 10. I don't care what people say. Special feature wise, there is a commentary with Troy Howarth, which I enjoyed, and then an interview, of course, with the director, screenwriter Dario Argento. Yeah, I definitely recommend Card Player. Good stuff. Next up is an indicator title. This is First Men in the Moon. This is a title that was missing my collection. Actually, I may have it in a Ray Harryhausen box set, but anyway, it was on sale. I just picked it up. It was like $10. Fun movie. It's obviously it's 50s sci-fi. These guys are. It's got very much comedic elements. I mean, you've got a scientist that has figured out a way to fly to the moon, and he does that, and he meets aliens, and it's just fun, a fun Saturday afternoon type film. Kid, more, I don't know that it's geared for kids, but if you were a kid in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and you saw this on Saturday matinees, it's gonna resonate with you. It's a fun film, well acted. Uh, Two commentary tracks, one with Ray Harryhausen, and then interviews. Yeah, it's a solid sci-fi flick. Next up is my least favorite Bill Lustig movie of all time, and I can honestly say Uncle Sam. This just doesn't do anything for me. I don't know what Bill was trying to. I like Maniac Cop 3 better than this, and I do recommend buying it because of the commentary tracks. I think Bill Lustig is very interesting to listen to from a commentary perspective, but this film misses the mark for me. It's one of those deals. I kept thinking, are you trying to be funny? Are you trying to be a horror movie? Or are you trying to do both? Whatever we're trying to do, it misses the mark for me on all aspects. I didn't think it was funny. I didn't think it was gory. I didn't think the kills were anything to write home about. And it's slow. It's just, I just don't know. Just there's nothing here for me. I mean, it's not a bad movie. It's just, I gave it a 5 out of 10. Essentially, what this is you've got, and it's the very first scene. You got the great William Smith finding basically an army battalion where they've been shot by friendly fire, and one of the guys comes back from the dead to seek his revenge. It's got Isaac Hayes in it, who of course did the Shaft theme, but I don't recommend this other than for the commentary tracks. Next up is a Hal Ashby directed film, The Last Detail from Indicator. Great film. Randy Quaid plays this guy that is being court-martialed. He's in the Navy, and he's being sent off to prison, I guess. And Jack Nicholson and his buddy have to transport him, and it's the guy's last trip. So over time, Jack Nicholson starts to really feel sorry for Randy Quaid, and they decide to just have a blowout couple days as they're traveling, get drunk, chase women. It's a guy's road film, that kind of thing. But it's Jack Nicholson at his best. I think he's fantastic in it, and interesting film. Commentary track on here. A lot of interviews. I wish Jack Nicholson had done a commentary for that. I don't think he does any of those. Next up is a double pack from Arrow, Graveyard of Honor, and this is basically two interpretations of the same novel, Graveyard of Honor, and it's directed by two different directors. One in 1975. And then one in 2005, I believe. Kenji Fukasaku, who did Battles Without Honor and Humanity. And then Takashi Miike comes back and does his version of it in 2005. It's a Yakuza film, and it's about a Yakuza that's mentally unbalanced, man. He's just a maniac. And he's his own worst enemy, obviously. And great film. Both of these are fantastic films. Give both these 9 out of 10s. Great commentary track, great special features. The films look great. Highly recommend Graveyard of Honor. Next up is a Vinegar Syndrome release, and that's for Creature. Klaus Kinski. And I tell you what, man, if you've seen this film on anything other than the Vinegar Syndrome transfer, do yourself a favor and pick this up, because you haven't seen the movie. This is a very dark movie. It's basically an Alien ripoff. And you really need to see it with the scan that Vinegar Syndrome has done on here. I think it's a 4K scan they did. It's definitely a 2K scan. Yeah, it's a 4K scan from the camera negative. It looks great. This film had multiple titles. Finding Titan was one of them. There's a making of on here, and then there's a commentary with the Hysteria Continues. Great stuff. Creature's a great movie. Love it. Cheesy horror movie. Alright, next up is Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge from Arrow. 6 out of 10. This is one of those slashers from the late 80s that really, it's not great, but it's fun for what it is. And honestly, it's hard to believe these type films getting this level of treatment. I mean, the booklet in this thing is thick, and it's as loaded with multiple commentaries and special features. Yeah, the film is trying to. I mean, I grew up in the 80s as a 20-something, and malls, kids in the malls, I mean, that was just the thing. And so this film was trying to parlay the popularity of kids hanging around malls, I think. It has some, it's not gory, but it has some interesting kills. And it's a decent story overall. Nothing spectacular, but I give it a 6, 7 out of 10, depending on my mood. Great release, though, overall from Arrow. And then finally, I needed another copy of The Thing from Scream Factory. Believe it or not, I was hesitant to buy, and I wish I hadn't, because the 4Ks come out. But this was cheap and on sale, and I didn't have it in my collection, so I just went in and picked up the Scream Factory. This has TV cut of the film, multiple cuts of the film, multiple audio commentaries. It's a great release on a masterpiece of a film. It's just, there's so many. I mean, The Thing is just getting beaten dead with so many different releases, though. I don't think I'm going to get the 4K. I think I'm done on that. All right, I think that's going to do it. That's 17 minutes. I think that's going to do it for this update. I appreciate you watching.